Well, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, and of course, welcome to Yolanda Monet's Motivational Moment. Before I start, I have to do my salutations. Abaragani, Assalamu alaikum, Ikaro. Now that I've done my salutations, let's get into the meat of the message for today. As you know, we are still continuing on with dealing with self, understanding self, focusing on yourself. And a lot of times we focus on the wrong thing, the wrong people, the wrong places. If we channel our energies into things that are moving us forward, then maybe our lives would be a little bit better. And I'm coming from personal experience. I have focused on things that have not been for the betterment of me and my family. So I have taken the incentive and the initiative to make sure that for the next 30 days, I will do things that are in alignment with who I am, where I'm going, and what I am doing. And that's a challenge that I give to you guys today. Find something that you want to do, you want to achieve, and then go 30 days hard. Go hard on what you want. And then let's rekindle or get back together. We can discuss it. Okay, so now I did list out some things that you could think about, which was prioritizing self-care, setting self-boundaries, pursuing interests and hobbies, self-reflection and awareness, building self-esteem and confidence, setting goals with working toward them, avoiding comparison, cultivating gratitude, seeking support, practicing mindfulness and meditation. And then we talked about what does it mean to focus on yourself physically, mentally, socially, inspirationally, personally. We talked about working on setting healthy boundaries, evaluating our goals, exercising. We talked about prioritizing our sleep, set aside a few minutes for self-care, journaling. So today we're going to talk about spending one evening offline every week. Now that's kind of hard for me because I do have two businesses that I run online. So, but I will minimize my time with social media and just work strictly on my businesses. So that will cut off a lot of the going back and endless surfing, scrolling. Okay. On any given day, you're surrounded by laptops, cell phones, televisions, and other forms of technology. The average person spends 2 hours and 23 minutes on social media daily. 2 hours and 23 minutes. And some of us spend longer than that. Yet, too much screen time and social media can be detrimental to your well-being. That's where implementing a digital detox helps. The National Institute of Health publishes research in 2024 on the impact of digital detox. Studies participants underwent a period without access to social media. They reported an increase of daily contentment and stress relief. Focusing on yourself means spending time offline, whether you avoid technology for 1 day per month or turn off your phone after a specific time every night. And I'm putting a pin right here, which is really funny because that's what my son put on my phone, that after, I think it's after 9 o'clock, my phone automatically sends the person to voicemail. And that's during the week. And I think during the weekend I have until 11, I think. But nonetheless, that was a way for my son to help me get into a better sleeping pattern, because I do have trouble sleeping, but I have to have my 8 hours. So I have to come up with ways to make sure that I am getting the most from my sleep. And sometimes that does mean cutting off the television. That means I can't go to sleep to certain movies being on, certain things that are certain lights I can't have on. So I do understand that about myself. So I am amending or changing that. Live by your personal values. Personal values are the statements that capture when it is important to you. You can turn them on as guiding principles when facing a difficult situation or making a hard decision. When you live by your values, you're more likely to experience greater life happiness and fulfillment. Your values can be anything, ranging from how you approach relationships to how you prioritize your well-being. A personal value example can be living a life of integrity, which impacts how you care for yourself, solve problems, and support others. I'm going to put a pin right there. I will never negate my feelings to get along with someone else. If I feel strongly about something, for instance, if I've had an issue with you, then don't expect to come to my house. Don't expect to be in the same vicinity as I. Now, if we are in somewhere it's common and I have no control over it, fine. But other than that, if I'm doing it and you and I have had words, you're not invited. Sorry. I do not deal with disrespect on any level. I don't care. Mama, son, kids, best friend, pastor, lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. I do not tolerate disrespect on any level. And as soon as you disrespect me, I distance myself from you. As soon as you disrespect me, I will distance myself from you. Back to the message. Spending time outside. Spending time outside has many health benefits, including improving cognitive functions and lowering stress levels. Even if you have a busy schedule, there are several ways to enjoy the outdoors. Consider taking a daily walk on your lunch break, getting sunlight in the morning, or stepping outside for 5 minutes of fresh air. Standing barefooted in the grass can be a helpful meditation and grounding techniques, as nature has a calming effect on the body and mind. Now, just to put a little pin with this grounding, it does work. I often use it. My grandbabies love it. But grounding really does take the stress out of you. It goes through your body and out of your feet into the ground. And when it goes into the ground, it rejuvenates and it comes back clean energy. So I do use that an awful lot. Now, right now, because in the metropolitan St. Louis area, it has been raining for several days, so we can't do that right now. But once the weather breaks and the ground is more solid, then we'll be able to do that. And then let's indulge in pleasures. Allow yourself to sit back and enjoy the things that bring you the greatest pleasure. Perhaps you feel most at ease when you're relaxed in a coffee shop or with a good book. Or maybe you'll find the most joy by surrounding yourself by loved ones. Indulging in an experience that helps relieve stress and make you feel good is one of the best ways to really focus on self. Not every action or task must be productive or accomplish something. Time spent appreciating and relishing the little pleasures of everyday life can be fulfilling and induce feelings of happiness. Spending time with loved ones, the people around you, can significantly impact how you focus on and care for yourself. In 2021, the BMC Public Health publication published research and examined how social connection create positive health outcomes. Notably, the study found that social support boosts relationships and motivates people to change their behavior to achieve better health outcomes. Surrounding yourself with people you trust create a sense of belonging, helping you feel loved and supported. You may realize that being open about your goals to focus on yourself is received with encouragement and excitement. Why is it important for you to focus on yourself? If your life is a garden and learning how to focus on yourself, meaning fulfilling and watering it, then it could continue to nurture your life. Okay, now, improved self-esteem or self-worth, more self-confidence in tackling big goals, better relationships with others and colleagues, increasing physical, mental, and emotional health, greater ability to support others. When deciding time to focus on yourself, it is possible to feel bad or selfish at first. It is important to remember that it's rarely self-centered to prioritize your health and well-being. The negative effects of ignoring your needs, like burnout and depression, are too great to pay attention to your healthful needs. When you temporarily step away from life's demands, you create an opportunity to begin self-discovery. You can make decisions to increase your life satisfaction and support for your well-being. Additionally, taking time for yourself can help you identify the areas of a life that demands too much of your time and energy. For example, you might identify a toxic relationship and let go of someone to better focus on your career. Or you might just change jobs to have more time with your family. Finding the right balance can be difficult. With so many compelling priorities, trying to do something or everything can be draining. But once you get a coach and listen to YouTube talks as a part of your solution, you can often find tips to help you set boundaries and to make moves toward your ideal life. So with that being said, guys, we have got to, no doubt, figure out what it is in our lives that brings us most joy, what it is in our lives that brings or makes us more complete. And once we find that out, then what do I do when no one is watching? These are some of the questions you need to ask yourself. What am I doing? What do I do when no one is watching? What am I do? What am I most curious about learning, and how can I do it? When I write down my thoughts and desires, my patterns emerge. Do I trust myself? Like to find a friend to care about? How do I show up for myself and practice self-compassion? How often do I put others' needs ahead of my own? These questions can shift you toward activities and habits that bring you joy and independent of others. Embrace how to really focus on self. Embrace on how to really focus on self. Humans are social creatures. And in some of our it is our nature to accommodate, support, and fit in with others. Discovering yourself is hard work. But you can learn how to really focus on yourself and to walk the path of self-improvement. You're a unique individual with different skills, likes, and desires that will set you apart from others. When you team up with a coach, you can get support on how to focus on yourself and to nurture your well-being. Take charge of your well-being with the master of arts of setting boundaries and unlocking your full potential and well-being. Once you find out who you are, whose you are, and why you are here, the purpose of being here, then you will understand who you are. And you'll be able to do a lot of different things that you thought you couldn't do because you didn't think you were capable or able to do them. It is important because we need your gifts. We need your talents. So with that being said, guys, I've got to go. Remember, you can always go onto my website, Elonda Monet Hatter. YouTube. Go to my YouTube, Elonda Monet Hatter. Click like and share. I do have other podcasts. I do have other talks on there. So you can definitely go look through there. And of course, you know that I'm deep into African American history. So I do have a lot of African American history, plantation visits, stuff like that on there. So go check it out. Go check it out. So with that being said, guys, I've got to go. I love you, but God loves you more. And always remember, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Peace.